Umpires tonight, James, Chamberlain and Ryan. Friday night football, ready to roll. Saw that crowd.
Saw Morris on Johnson, sorry Dan. Johnson, one of the most dangerous players in the competition. Morris, one of the better defenders, but he's going to actually have to play up the field. We saw Steve Johnson get a lot of possession in the last month across the middle of the field, not just in the forward 50.
And down the other end, Taylor's on Brad Johnson. That's a tough matchup for Taylor.
Opening bounce. And a good one too. Blake has to wait. First hand of the ball. Touch from Ablett. Corey over his shoulder. Picked up by Gilby. Hooks it down towards right half forward. Dogs needing a good start tonight. This one's out of bounds on the full.
Jono, that's the mark.
Harry Taylor, left half back.
Well, that's a win for the Bulldogs already. It's not often that you see Geelong hemmed in like that.
Kicks it beyond the wing. Some pushing and shoving in front. Stokes paid the advantage to Ablett. Listen to that roar. Goes inside the forward 50. Chapman was pushed in the back. 9 goals for the season. 5-3 from set shots. Make it 6-3 out of 10. Great start.
Heard the ump, so Higgins back to Lake. And then Lake to Hudson. So Hudson's handball poorly directed to Morris. Look all over him. And then Ablett to Corey, to Stokes, to Bartel, to Ablett. Good tackle, Higgins, but he's giving away the free kick.
50 metres from here. Joel Selwood, it's a 50 for a continued tackle.
You know, I know it's sort of, you probably exaggerated a bit, but I think that's exactly what the rule is all about, even though it's still probably marginal.
It was hard to imagine Ablett being in the next passage of play, but it is Ablett and anything's possible, I guess. Selwood's kicked the goal. He doesn't get a lot, but he got that one. He gets a lot of the ball.
As the ball inside the forward 50. Big leap at the back came from Welsh. It falls in front. Hahn gets a hand pass away. Now Gilby, a lot of the football goes down towards full forward. Getting a hand to it down there was Johnson. Spill to Akermanis, pulls it back, intended for Higgins. That was clever. Quick kick away. Johnson on the goal line. Brad Johnson, the Bulldogs Johnson, gets a goal. Almost sandwiched there. Kicks it down towards half forward. Ward taken down. Strong tackle got into the deck. Callan got a hand pass from Cross. Goes out wide. Boyd left it behind. Bartel didn't. Hacks it down towards half forward. Hawkins just outside the 50. Under pressure. Goes long. Steve Johnson one out. Morris will be nervous. Not only that, he'll be holding. Johnson goalless last week. Gets this one. Steve Johnson on the board.
Presented well, Gilby, so far tonight. Fair bit of the ball. He's kicking off in the future, but that one cut off by Enright. Tim talked about his value. Good hands, Taylor, and then Taylor to the goal square. Johnson's home.
He's got to know that Geelong are going to handball at all costs. Now, even though it's on the boundary, he's really got to cover that running player. And Joel Corey's man could have taken the mark, but we know how quickly they move it, and that's why Johnson was able to get the ball over the back of that contest.
Gets his second.
Aging like Benjamin Button. He kicks it down towards half forward, and the mark is taken down there by Hill, right on the 50.
I reckon he can cover the distance there, not confident.
Goes in short, and John Siracusa takes the mark. Crowd wanting 50. It was a token push at best against Wojcinski. I guess he's averaged a goal a game. In comes John Siracusa and puts it through. Terrific kick.
The combative rook. Morris. Well done. Johnson. Brilliant by Selwood. Howe to Chapman, and then Chapman to full forward. Stokes versus Harbrow. Stokes has got it.
That's just a great Markinosi, shouldn't it? When you've got a Scarlett versus a Hill, I think it was there. But Brooks contest to maintain the ball in the area.
And Stokes rewards him with the goal.
Geelong's prepared, as St Kilda we've seen in this first part of the year, prepared to roll their defence right up, make it very hard for the Western Bulldogs defenders to clear their defensive area.
Blake did well, got it down to him. Look at that hand pass. Cutting a swathe from Selwood to Chapman. Kicks a magnificent goal. Joel Selwood. Wow.
Wanted Chapman, not such a good kick that time. Well done, Hudson, to Gilby. And then Gilby to Picken, to Boyd, who was flat-footed, so they stop a bit here. Now Gilby, can he find a target? Well, he did in the end. It's Welsh, a long way from goal, and then Welsh with a neat kick, and Acker's got it. Good build-up.
Can play very quite well as a small key position player.
Struck it well, Aker. He's got it.
Bread and butter.
They've done reasonably, the Bulldogs, forward 50. To kick 3-2 from only 9 entries is not a bad conversion rate, so at least they're looking dangerous once the ball gets into that part of the ground.
That's good news and bad news in some respects, isn't it?
Well, the other good news and bad news is the fact that they're up in clearances 9-6, so they're getting their share of the ball. They're not going forward that often, but when they do go forward, they're scoring. There's a lot of upside for them. There's a lot of upside for Geelong as well.
Second term at the Dome, Minson. Boyd goes down towards half forward. Johnson, who's been good, was in front. Taylor was there. I think for a moment Taylor thought he'd given away a free kick. Doesn't matter. Johnson kicks a goal. Brad Johnson on fire.
Gee, that one bit of play changed that whole movement, didn't it?
They'd be pleased with that, the Bulldogs, because they're so precise being out of their back 50, Geelong, but a couple of times there they were just a little bit shaky, made skill errors.
Minson, well done to Griffin. Archie's back, got rid of Ling, got to Eagleton, back to Griffin, runs into Bartell. That was courageous by Bartell. He knew what was coming. Eagleton, Minson getting his hands on it a bit, dropped it away. Boyd, gee, this is a hot football. Johnson's been terrific. Higgins, oh, he's tripped. No, play on. Ablett comes out with it. Little handball. Higgins gets it back, gets to John Siracusa. They deserve a goal and they'll get one. Jono's going to go back and kick his third. Gee, the captain's playing a game. He's kicked 3. The Johnsons are kicking plenty tonight. Goes back to Kelly. And then Kelly cut off by Eagleton. Enright Archie's back. Cooney put the tackle on. Lake, Eagleton. Important play here. Wants to draw Hill. Well, Johnson probably should have left it for Hill. Now he's got to run hard, Jono. He's had a big night so far. A lot of the ball and 3 goals. Good kick to Griffin inside. To Aker. Can't go the distance. Doesn't want to. Got John Syracuse. It's a beautiful kick. The Dogs have kicked the last 3 goals in this match. Make it 4. They're within a kick. All clear.
Tell you what, the Dogs are looking very confident, and at the moment Geelong off their game. Boyd goes back, cross half back. It's Gilby, the short one. Eagleton, man onto the outer side, uses him now. That's Higgins. He can run to the 50. Kelly comes across to try and keep him outside the 50. Higgins down towards full forward. Johnson almost the mark down there. Falling forward, Taylor only as far as a man lurking, and the goal from Hill. Around the outer side with Wojcinski into the path of Mackey. Very untidy hand pass. Ablett trying to lift his teammates, knocks it forward. Wojcinski back into the fray in characteristic fashion. Here he goes, runs to the 50, vacant square. Stokes is going back, and Stokes is marked about 3 metres out. And Harbrow had to find the body there. Stokes will put this through and put the Cats back in front. So after a string of goals, 5 I think from memory, Bruce, the Cats get there first. Goes beyond the wing, kicks inside the forward 50. Akermanis hands to it, couldn't hang on. Kelly in the back pocket, swings it wide. Varco's got it. Running for him is Harley. Harley's got the football, pushing off down the ground. His rookie's too close now. In fact, it demands a hand pass from Varco. Still they run a wave of them. Ling to Bartel to Varco. Now it needs a mark. Stevie J almost. Still he goes. Johnson. Well, he should have given it off. Now the hand pass comes towards Ablett from Gamble. Picked up by... Well, the hand pass came from Callan. How will the umpire call this?
Your free kick.
Holding the ball, rightly so, against Harbrow, but it certainly was a terrible hand pass to receive. So close to goal.
Some technique here, just one step towards the line.
Steps around and pops it through. He's got 3. Matthew Stokes. And the lead back to 11. Clock running down to half-time, just over 6 minutes to go. Cats lead it by 11, being challenged. Reminds me very much of that game these two clubs played at Skill Stadium last year. Here's Ablett after half-time, though. The Dogs got blown away. Can they go on this time? Gamble's got it to stretch the lead.
Left or right, he can go there very easily.
9 possessions in the term for Ablett, up to 21. Selwood, just the 1 in this quarter so far. Gamble gets the goal. Nice kick.
Geelong with all the numbers. Scarlett, Mackie left it for him. And then Scarlett, well, that's a dangerous kick. Hudson's got hold of it. Now can they set something up here? Wide. Good run here. Now Lake, important that he delivers. He does. Cooney, it now bounces. Cooney almost within range. In fact, he is within range. And goals. That's a big blow. That helps.
Third term at Etihad Stadium. Friday night football, big crowd. 13 points the difference. The Cats are being challenged. Big second term came from the Dogs. Hudson knocked it down. Cooney, a hand pass up in the air. Blake over the shoulder. Ablett in the action again. Releases Wojcinski. Probing kick inside the forward 50. Johnson started in the square. Tracks it back. He's got the footy. Wheels around and kicks a goal. That's a start.
Johnson did okay, but Taylor chopped it off cleverly. And then Corey round the body. Selwood waited for it to bounce. Callan, well done, Selwood. Clever. Mackie running up. Ling will probably use Selwood. He does. Still with Selwood. Neat looking kick. Chappie's read it best. Runs onto it. What an explosive start for the Cats. How good they are.
He's kicked goals in his last 4 games. 12 for this season. He's offline again.
What he does is
there was a team mark, I think.
He ends up stationary after he's kicked the ball, Hawkins. Sometimes you think, I don't know whether they're telling him to just try and chase the ball a little bit, like kick it and follow the line of it.
Blake, well, he motioned with his head, but his foot overruled his head, and the mark has been taken by Johnson in the pocket, who'll line up at his 4th. Johnson just the man, too, to work it left to right, I'd suggest. Oh, there you go. Tiger Woods, eat your heart out.
Too keen.
Chapman quick to get it on.
Pick your target. There's about 3 of them on forward of the footy.
And then Ling pushing to Rook. We go back to last year. Rook's kicked a goal in his last 13 matches, including tonight. Good spoil by Mackie from an umpire's point of view.
And that was the one matchup that you mentioned, Lee, that was really worrying the Cats, and they've stabilised that and stabilised the game.
Higgins trying to get it forward, then Harley held it up. Ablett, Johnson, that's Brad Johnson. Griffin needs a handball, not goal will do. He scrambled it through. Well done.
The umpire having a word to Minson, but nothing doing in terms of the ball coming up the ground. It's taken in defence
look at
by
Kelly fall to
Enright,
the
who
footy.
get it across to Ablett. Now on the outer side, Corey breaking ahead of the ball. This is Kelly. Kelly's about 75 metres from goal to the pocket. That is wonderful, exceptional football by Geelong. One end to the other.
And Stokes also actually moved before Kelly had the ball. You could see the space. It's that reading of the play. Harbrow just wasn't able to close him down.
Stokes prefers to kick around the corner, which is fourth.
Dennis talked about their match at School Stadium last year. And
15, play on.
they were blown away that day, the Dogs. So let's just see what they can do in the last quarter and a half here. Good kick by Williams to Akermanis. Let's see if he can land this one home. Kicks on the 50. It's coming back. It's a good kick. He's got it. So he gets his second Aker.
Knocked away by Cross, falling to the ground, intended for Eagleton. Free kick is going to Daniel Cross.
Saw one of those grey areas behind play, Lee, when Scarlett was taken down after a handball for a 1-2, but not paid.
So John Siracusa, Aker, got it again. Difficult kick. Gee, it's a good looking kick. It is Aker magic. One for the ages.
The little guys have been the ones on the forward line for Geelong. They're missing Mooney, certainly. Kearney over the football. Hand pass is almost straight up in the air. Kelly knocks it forward. Getting in the road there, Higgins in the opposite direction. Kearney under pressure. He hand passes forward. Now he was held.
Downfield this time.
Yep, downfield. So that's variation.
No, you just held him
Obviously
too long.
wasn't going to be at the next contest. There goes the short one inside the forward 50. Talking with Rowan Soares during the week, he spoke about time and space as the ball comes to Griffin from Jan Siracusa. Was it touched? I don't think it was. He's kicked the goal.
David Johnson to Stokes. He's got Ling over the top. Geelong can really attack from here. Ling's got Rook on. He'll find him now. Rook will take off, you reckon, and he does. He's delivered the ball well so far tonight. Steve Johnson's at the back. He'll kick a goal. He's got 5. Johnson off the ground. Boyd. This would take a Akermanis type kick, wouldn't it? And it's not going to be a goal. They've got all the numbers, the Cats. Griffin's made a wonderful Minson, and paid the mark. Big Will.
A good grab by Minson.
Well, if he kicks this, they're a huge chance, you'd reckon. They're a huge chance.
Still haven't got him, just like Mooney for the Cats.
And they're exactly the same type of player, that break-up player out of half forward.
Ward to Akermanis, trying to lift his teammates then in his 300th, kicks it down towards half forward. Welsh heard a voice, gives it across to Cross. Cross feeds it back to Eagleton. He's got one from here. Make that 2. Upset brewing. Runs inside the centre circles. Now Harry Taylor had a bounce. Awkward one for him. Stopped his momentum. Goes after the footy. He's about 80 metres from goal. Rook. Strong tackle. Williams. Rook almost holding the footy. Nothing doing. Taylor onto the boot. Kicks inside the forward 50. Bartel. Open goal beckons and the Brownlow medalist puts it through.
Boyd. Cross. Boyd, they've taken a chance. They've done it well. Ward to Aker. Good man. Terrific mark. Aker quickly on. Lovely kick. He's got Jono. They played it well in the back half, didn't they? And then Aker with a bit of skill, both on the mark and the kick. But those goals were in the first half. This to keep the Dogs alive, you'd reckon. He's kicked it well. He's kicked 4. Aker's got 3. They're still barking.
Over the top, creates some space. Eagleton has been dangerous on this side of the ground. Goes down towards half forward. Welsh needs to mark it. Didn't. Corey got the crumb. Over the top end right. Wojcinski over his head. Minson tries to hack his way through. Hand passes to Eagleton. Eagleton looks to the middle. Guess who? Well, do you believe in fairy tales? This to make the margin 3 points. Akermanis has nailed it.
Just when it gets to this stage of a game and you can see every player out there is playing with hope and energy and desperation, there's just a real at it.
Bounce right on the 50. Just under 3 minutes to go. The ruckman lock up. They fight a draw. Griffin, who started the term so well, back to Hudson. Clatters his way through. Harbrow went in strongly. Barco couldn't control it. Taken by Harley. Well done, Pickin. Comes back to Barco. Barco finds a way through. Snaps. And I think he's kicked it. 2.5 minutes to go. 9 points the difference.
Still a chance, maybe last roll of the dice here.
John Syracuse at the interchange gates, told to play on. Ablett just standing on the mark. Well, neither man is required to do anything after the call to play on. He goes down the line with precision. Welsh has got it. 116 to 107. Welsh. He too is told to play on. Centering kick. Cross has got it. Cooney to the opposite side of the ground. Now Gilby, as we know, is a long kick. Rook stays off him. Gilby kicks. Minson almost the mark. Goes after the crumb. Pickin finds a way through. Snaps. And the son of Billy has kicked it.
Yeah, I reckon he would like a lot of what he's seen, Bruce. There's no doubt the Bulldogs have been out of this game for a lot of it, but they haven't worried about the scoreboard. They've been able to maintain their effort and application, especially around clearances. They've dominated there, 40 to 26. They've started squaring up the inside 50s a little. They've been very effective going inside 50, and they've kept themselves. They can win this game.
Terrific goal. Acker's in the goal square. What are the odds that he could kick the winner? They've been in front for 2 hours and 2 minutes, the Cats. Dogs have led tonight for 2.5 minutes.
There's 8 one-on-one contests in front of the ball for the Bulldogs. They've not allowed Geelong to go loose behind. They've manned up every one of Geelong's loose defenders.
Cross was terrific there because Corey had his mitts on it, ready to give a handball away, and Cross won it back. Huge centre clearance break. Boyd. And he couldn't get an effective kick away. Harbrow does though, and Welsh has got it. Probably too far out. Aker goes now. Goes short. Aker. No. And no free kick coming. Rook off the side a bit. May find the line. No, Varco kicked that goal. Waits and waits. Over the top for Ablett. Set him a task. Harbrow, Ablett, Harbrow, and now ball up.
Now, I'm sure the runners will be out there now telling them that there's 20 seconds to go. So it's a question of Geelong. All they have to do is really hold it in.
Speaking of holding, could have made a case for Aker right there. Bounce outside the 50. Slammed inside the 50. Harley under pressure. We're down to 13 seconds. Hahn with strength. Bullocks his way out. Snaps across the face. Johnson. Johnson is marked. And will kick after the siren.
Can't play on.
Runs around. Well, the clock actually has zero. The clock has zero. There's one that we probably will have to talk about later.
But Johnson called time on.
I hope so. There's the siren. Johnson comes in. He's missed. Johnson has missed. Reminiscent of that game against North Melbourne last season at this venue. Johnson, after the siren, has missed from 10 metres out. He couldn't run around. What a 300th he played. What a remarkable game.